Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a Sacred Union Energy Update. I have a couple of announcements first, and stay tuned because you're not going to want to miss this. There are a couple of changes happening to the channel, especially this month, moving forward. This month we're putting a pause on the daily energy draws. You can check out the one for June to see what is in store for June. But we're putting a little bit of a pause because I'm going to be exploring, expanding, and changing some things here on the channel. Not much is going to be affected, just, kind of reorganizing what's already been coming through. Now, what has been coming through? As you guys know, I do a lot of work around the Sacred Union path to Ascension. This is for those who are on the path of ascension in sacred partnerships. This is either high vibrational soulmates, twin flames, sacred partners, whatever it is that you want to call it. I prefer divine counterparts or sacred partners, just because it removes the stigma of those other labels. But this is really about ascension. This is really about you, your relationship with yourself, your relationship with Source, your relationship with the world, and even, yes, your relationship with your counterpart. Every reading that we do, even though we talk about the other person, it really is about you and your growth. And relationships are the greatest catalyst for growth and expansion. The greatest place where we can learn about love for ourselves and for others. And I'm also getting that unity consciousness energy. Relationships are where we begin to understand what unity consciousness really is. So what we're going to be doing here is just kind of reorganizing some things. As you guys know, I tend to channel kind of high-level ascension energy. So what we're going to be doing is kind of splitting the readings. I was putting everything in the bucket of sacred union energy updates, even though things were kind of heading in the direction more of ascension related sacred partnership stuff. So what I've decided to do is kind of reorganize, rebrand into two different buckets. So there's the Sacred Union Energy Updates where we look at the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine energies specifically, where we really channel what's going on in the connection, what's going on in the energy, how is this relationship on a much more physical 3D level, what's actually happening within your partnership. Then we're going to have more ascension related videos, ascension relationship videos, because everything again that I do really is about relationship. You are on the Sacred Union path to ascension. You're relating to others with regards to ascension, relating to yourself, relating to the world, relating to Source, God, the universe, like I said before. So we're going to be doing ascension relationship videos, which are basically my ascension energy updates. My higher level sacred partner energy updates. So the Sacred Union energy update is going to be more focused on the divine masculine, divine feminine from a microcosm standpoint. I don't know if that's the right word, but from a narrower perspective, while the ascension relationships, those are going to be, those updates, those videos are going to be pulling back and looking at it from a broader perspective, from the perspective of ascension as a whole, even the global perspective. So I hope that you stay tuned. I hope that you enjoy those. We'll also continue to have channeled messages. You can check out the Ascension Channeled Messages playlist for some really important teachings and guidance that have come through in these readings, either it's the Ascension readings or the Sacred Union readings. Again, everything that I do, everything that I teach is about the Sacred Union path to Ascension, because that is, quite frankly, the path that I found myself on with my sacred partner, and that is the path that many of you are on as well. We're also going to have light language transmissions and some special readings here and there, but this is where I'm going to start putting my focus. So again, we're going to have Sacred Union energy updates, focus on the divine masculine, divine feminine specifically, and then ascension relationships, which is ascension and sacred partnerships, looking at it from the viewpoint of ascension as a whole. So pulling back and looking at it from the wider perspective of ascension and growth. Okay, so why are we here today? We're here today. Wasn't planning on doing this. If you are expecting a reading from me, that will be done within the next few days. If you booked a reading with me last week, that will be completed this week for you as promised. So I was working on some admin, working on some emails, and pulling some cards in the process, just randomly shuffling, and these cards came out. This set of cards came out, and immediately I started channeling. Immediately the energy started coming through for the Divine Masculine. So we're looking at the Divine Masculine energy today, right now. So we have the Star, the Hanged Man in reverse, the Knight of Wands, no, I'm sorry, the Six of Wands, Strength card, and the King of Cups. These Divine Masculines are going through a major transformation and breakthrough right now. And what I heard when the Strength card came out was they are recognizing the strength and power within themselves and have overcome their ego. They have overcome, this was a major ego death that they have recently gone through. And a lot of these Divine Masculines might have withdrawn or gone into retreat mode, not entirely, not going completely silent, but really withdrawn in order to process this. There was a major tower moment or trigger moment for them, and it felt like it was positive. It felt like there was something that shifted within them that made them see themselves with much more clarity, that said, a couple of messages. Number one, this is not how I want to live my life. Number two, I want to be better. I want to be the best version of myself. I want to be the highest version of myself. Or number three, I understand now. Or all three. Could it be all three? So take it as it resonates for you. But there was something that brought in so much clarity. It was like a light bulb moment that went off. And it feels like it was positive. It felt like it was empowering. And it felt like they liked that sense of love and worth and value and empowerment that they felt within the self. And it was something that was very new to them. And that's why it was a tower. That's why it was triggering. It was because all those old beliefs and all those old patterns and how they saw themselves in the past began to crumble. And they realized that they could change, and they realized that that power came within them. We've been channeling this, oh my gosh, for the past 3 years, that these Divine Masculines had built up a foundation, built up a tower, a foundation of a false sense of ideals. Now, it wasn't false to them at the time. It was just not stable. It was just not grounded. It was based on other people's expectations, other people's views of them, and that's how they had begun to view themselves, based on a false sense of authenticity. It wasn't real. They might have thought it was real, but it was still based on old beliefs, old patterns, old ways of thinking, old people-pleasing, old expectations, just old versions of themselves. And it wasn't the soul of themselves. It was ego or spiritual ego or false ego. And that's not a judgment, and that's not a reprimand of the Divine Masculine. We have all been there. Divine Feminines have been there. We just had our own crumbling. We had our own catalyst prior to this moment. So we can hold that compassion and hold that space for the Divine Masculines who are going through this. That is not a judgment and not a reprimand. We have all gone through that ego death. These Divine Masculines, over the past several years, the tower had been crumbling. And what I'm actually seeing is the last of that tower, that false sense of identity, that ego identity, finally crumbled. And they saw things much more clearly. And when they came into recognition with you, when I say recognition, I mean soul recognition, when they met you or were reunited with you, and you had that soul recognition, you had that spark, what happened was that's when the tower began to crumble. And what was being put in its place was a much more firm foundation, a foundation of love, a foundation of soul love, soul recognition, sacred love, unconditional love, the power of recognizing the soul within the self and with the other. And so over these years and months, and especially these past few weeks, that foundation has been firmly laid. It's been firmly set. The foundation of love. But now these Divine Masculines are recognizing it. In the past, they hadn't allowed themselves to be happy because they were always afraid of, well, if I build up that tower again in my life, that tower has fallen and fallen and fallen and fallen and fallen. My life has kind of crumbled around me. That's what I'm used to. And if I build that tower up again, What if that other shoe falls? What if that tower falls again? I'm not going to be able to make it. Well, what the foundation of love is building is that no matter what happens, you have a firm foundation now because it's a foundation of love. And that's love and connection to the self. That's love and connection to source. And that's even love and connection to their divine counterpart, which is a firm foundation in and of itself, because you have that inner union first. You have that foundation of the self first, that foundation with source first. And the more you recognize that foundation within the self and with source, the more you recognize how stable and firm and loving that is with your divine counterpart, because you and your divine counterpart are that one energy. You are that one. And you know it's a bond that will not be broken. Across space and time, it's that quantum entanglement energy. Across space and time, you know that the connection and the bond cannot, will not, and has not ever been broken. What you're doing on this journey is remembering that you have always been in union with your sacred partner, because you have always been in union with yourself, and you have always been in union with source. Union is just about connection, feeling fully connected within yourself, with source, and with your counterpart. And all you've been doing on this journey is clearing away the illusions, clearing away the separation templates that made you feel like you weren't connected. What you're doing is you're remembering, you're understanding, you're seeing things without the blindfold, you're seeing things without the veil, you're seeing things without that illusion. You've always been in union, and that is what the foundation is now. The foundation is union. And so whatever it is that you create, whatever it is that you build, you have that foundation firmly in place because it is built on love. And not the false templates of love that the towers have been created from before, that whatever your life had been before, it was a false foundation of love. That's not to say that love wasn't there, but it was the old templates of relationships, the old templates of love, what you thought love was, based on old beliefs, based on old patterns, even based on old traumas and heartbreaks that had you fashion beliefs around love. Now you're understanding what love truly is because you're understanding yourself. Because you're understanding connection to yourself and to the universe, to source, and to each other. Divine Masculines have received this clarity about themselves. And with that clarity, they are understanding that no matter what challenges, no matter what obstacles come, they have the strength to overcome it because they've already overcome the most important, most difficult obstacle, which was their ego. Because now they're listening to the soul of themselves. Now they're listening to their heart. Now they're allowing themselves to feel their emotions, and that's their feminine energy within them that is rising, that had been so suppressed in the past, and that's why they couldn't acknowledge you, Divine Feminine, because their own feminine energy had been so distorted, so suppressed, so repressed. But now as they allow that feminine energy to rise, and a lot of that had come from distorted templates, from society's conditioning, and even from distorted feminine templates that other relationships had held for them. Mothers, sisters, children, family members, other relationships, romantic relationships, friendships, that have been distorted energy. And again, that is not with judgment or reprimand at those other people, at those other relationships, because everybody's going through this process of ascension now. Everybody is clearing away the distortion that was almost like set within us, ingrained within us from this false matrix. But now we're moving into the rainbow matrix. Now we're moving into the divine matrix. And the matrix is just an energy field. But we're moving out of the false matrix, that lower energy grid, the lower vibrational energy grid, and moving into what I like to call the rainbow matrix because that's how it was channeled to me. I'll put a link to that teaching in the description box below. This is that new earth energy. This is higher consciousness. This is higher vibration, higher frequency love. And so clearing out all the distortion, that feminine energy rising, recognizing of the divine template. And so the more that feminine energy rises within the divine masculine, the more they're allowing themselves to feel their emotions, become balanced in their emotions. And as they do that, there's a sense of maturity that is coming over them. What I'm getting from this King of Cups is the storm had settled. And now what's happening is they are, where there had been rocky waters, where there had been turbulent waters, that storm had settled. And now what's happening is there is a settling in, a maturity, a balancing, and allowing themselves to feel the full force of the love that they feel. And a desire, I'm also hearing, to express that, especially to their divine feminine. And I'll get to those cards in a minute because holy cow. So what is happening here is there is a sense of healing with the Star card, but a sense of healing with hope. A sense of healing like, I can have my happiness. I can have my wish fulfillment. I can believe again, where they had really shut that side of themselves off. That's what's shifting here. They're no longer chained to their past. They're no longer chained to their old beliefs. They're no longer chained to their own old perspectives and old mindsets that had kept them held back within themselves. Now they're feeling this sense of victory. They're feeling the sense of accomplishment. They're feeling the sense of success. And it's interesting that I said the Knight of Wands before, because I'm also getting that energy coming through. They're wanting to ride forward with confidence now, ride forward with passion, and take action for their life because of the strength and the self-empowerment, this union energy that has been coming through. They are the king. Okay, I want to show you guys what came through next. Out of curiosity, after this energy started coming through, I started pulling more cards and said, okay, well, what are they feeling for the divine feminine? And holy cow, you guys, the cards that came out. The first two cards that flew out together were the Page of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles. They're asking me to stop before I pull the other cards. Page of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles. This Ace of Pentacles feels very much like a king energy. Very grounded, very stable, very nurturing, just very kingly. The King of Pentacles is one of the best cards in the deck for me when it comes to the divine masculine, even more so than the Emperor, because the King of Pentacles is like the divine masculine. He is like the Emperor, very authoritative, very taking the reins, but from a very nurturing place. The King of Pentacles is a provider. The King of Pentacles is this father energy. And it's interesting because when we say father energy, this is divine masculine. This is that father God energy. Where the Queen of Pentacles is kind of like that Empress energy. She is that mother God energy. That is that divine feminine energy. So I love the King of Pentacles, and that's actually this feeling that I'm getting from this ace. I feel like divine masculine has become the divine masculine, really embodied and embraced that consciously. Might not know the terminology, but is recognizing the difference in how they are feeling. They are feeling much more stable. They are feeling much more grounded. There might have been going through some turbulent times with this triggering, with this tower moment recently. But that's where they have gone within, retreated within, to really process this energy, this new energy within them. I feel like they are wanting to bring this to you. They're wanting to bring this stable new beginning to you. With this Page of Swords, they are really, I'm hearing focused. Now, I'm hearing self-focused, but it's not focused on themselves. I feel like they're focused on you. And that's what the word self-focused is here. It's focused on divine feminine. It's focused on the connection because they have taken the time to really acknowledge themselves, embrace themselves, and focus on themselves. This is an awareness of the self. This is an acknowledgement of themselves. This is self-actualization. And because they've gone through this process, they're now allowing themselves to focus on you. You have these two blue jays here. Interestingly enough, I saw a blue jay in my travels yesterday. These two blue jays, these two bluebirds, and I don't know if there's a specific meaning for blue jays, but I'm being called to it. Maybe what I was called to yesterday, when I saw the blue jay yesterday, was just meant for me to focus on this in the card. But I feel like this is you and your divine masculine, divine feminine, divine masculine, and it's seated on this sword. So there is truth, there is clarity, there is success, there is victory coming in for this divine partnership, for this sacred union. And this really feels like, as they've been focused on themselves, understanding themselves better, again, that self-actualization energy, they can't do that without you. No, let me rephrase that. You've been on their mind. The more they understand themselves, the more they understand this connection, the more they feel you with them. And that is exactly what you have been experiencing, divine feminines. We talked about that in the last Sacred Union Energy update. It was a powerful, powerful update, so make sure that you check that out. The more that they understand themselves, the more they feel this connection, the more they understand and are able to receive, embrace, and feel that love with you, that sacred love that they feel with you. And I love the two birds on this sword because it's just like truth, clarity, understanding. There's just so much that is coming to the surface right now, and there's this balancing energy that's coming out. Okay, so how else are they feeling towards their divine feminines? Holy cow, you guys, when these cards came out together, it came out in a bunch, it came out together, I was just blown away. And I shuffle my cards, you guys know that. This just shocked me. 10 of Cups, 2 of Cups, and the Ace of Cups. Your divine masculine is now allowing themselves to daydream about you and with you. They're wanting to manifest together. They're wanting everything with you. They're wanting happy home life. They're wanting partnership. They're wanting commitment. They're wanting relationship. They're wanting family. They're wanting your entire relationship to transform from what it was into just this beautiful future, this beautiful manifestation of everything that they had ever hoped and desired within their heart. They are feeling it within their heart, and they're feeling it with you. They're wanting to create with you. They're wanting this new beginning with you because they have reached this level. I love this. You know in the Page of Cups, how he's holding a fish in the cup? And that fish is kind of like an offering. That fish is like wanting to say something, wanting to do something, wanting to communicate or express something. What I love about this is you have the fish. You have the fish coming from the divine masculine side to the divine feminine side. And that beautiful rainbow grid, you guys are creating new earth together. This eclipse, that full moon eclipse, was a powerful portal, especially for the divine masculines. Again, check out that reading that we just posted, the Sacred Union Energy update, because what happened was it shifted within the divine masculine. It shifted within the self. The energy shifted within the self. And so now they're really looking at the divine feminine and seeing them as their sacred partner, seeing them as their match, seeing them as their person, seeing them as their true divine love. And what's shifting is they now have that to offer to the divine feminine. They now have that love to offer, where they were holding themselves back, where they were kind of denying themselves those feelings or holding back those feelings because they were holding that energy back within themselves. That's all that was. They were holding it back within themselves, so they couldn't or were not capable yet of offering that to their divine feminine. But it's like a floodgate of emotions opened within the divine masculine, where it's like now they're embracing that love within themselves. This is that self-worth. This is that self-love. This is that connecting to themselves, to the soul of themselves. And when I say the soul of themselves, I mean who they truly are. The best and highest version of themselves. They're connecting to that best and highest version of themselves, and they had hid themselves away from that for so long because of all the trauma, because of all the pain, because of all the patterns and the old beliefs that they held about themselves. They were in such a place of, I want to say victimhood, but it wasn't, again, there's no judgment there. There's no reprimand there. When I say victimhood, it was because of their trauma, because of their past. This is who I am. This is who I'm always going to be. They didn't realize that there was a better way. Divine Feminine was trying to show them a better way of being, a higher way of living, but they were holding themselves back. They had to go through this process on their own. They had to go through this journey on their own. Divine Feminine, yes, still leading the way, but Divine Masculine had to discover themselves for themselves, just as you did, Divine Feminine. And so these divine masculines really have connected to their higher self and gained this breakthrough, this clarity, and said, oh, there is a different way of living. There is a different way of thinking. There is a different way of being. I want that. I want to embody my highest self. I want to be able to dream and have those dreams become made manifest. I want to live my highest potential. I want to manifest my highest potential. I want to feel passionate about my life again. And those conscious choices of I want, those desires created choice points for the divine masculines. And those choice points created opportunities because the universe wants your highest alignment. And now because divine masculine is connecting to their soul of themselves, the truth of themselves, learning how to embody that, embody the highest version of themselves, to be that King of Pentacles, they are now able to look at the divine feminine, see her light, see their own light reflected back, and just, that's what it is. They're seeing your light. And before they shied away, before they couldn't even look at you because you were shining so brightly, but now they're allowing themselves to see their own light. And what's happening is there's this beautiful energetic rainbow that's being created between the two of you. This power between the two of you, this love between the two of you. Because they're loving themselves, because they're seeing their passion, because they're seeing their worth, because they're seeing their highest potential, their higher self, learning how to embody that. Now they're capable of offering that love to you. And what's happening is they're wanting this new beginning. And yeah, look, that clarity, that insight, that understanding, that awareness. Now wanting this brand new beginning because their cup is now overflowing, because they've filled it up for themselves. Now they have something to offer you, and they feel like they finally are worthy of that. They feel like they finally are worthy of this connection. They feel like they finally have something to offer you. Now you always knew that they had something to offer you. You always knew that they were full of love. But divine masculines never fully felt that, because they never fully felt that within themselves. So what they have to offer isn't something that is tangible. It isn't something that is material. It is love. It is themselves. It is their higher self. Stability, groundedness, presence, consciousness, love. Wow. Okay. So let's see. Let's pull a couple more cards and just see. You know what? I'm going to shuffle these back in. Let's see what's coming in for your connection. Let's do that. What's coming in for your connection? All right. What's coming in for their connection? Please, Spirit. Temperance, which I saw at the bottom of the deck. The Magician. What's coming in for this connection? Wow, okay. What's coming in for this connection? What's coming in for this connection, please, Spirit? Oh my gosh. Look at all these major arcana. One more card. What's coming in for this connection, please, Spirit? Okay. We have this beautiful card, the Hierophant. As you guys know, the Hierophant is my Ascension card, my Spiritual Awakening card, my higher level card. Look at this energy here. That's what's so beautiful about this. Look at this energy. What's coming in? Next level Ascension. Next level of your union. Next level of your partnership. Next level of your life. I'm going to put that here. So we have Temperance, the Magician, the Devil, Nine of Cups, Judgment, Three of Cups, and Justice. What I'm getting overall is a balancing out of your connection. This, again, is next level. I feel like with the Devil card, what's happening is two messages here with this energy. There's a lot of fiery, passionate energy, but it's not with the attachment. With the Nine of Cups, what I like about this is it's not with the attachment. You're releasing the attachment in order to allow yourself to feel your desires, allow yourself to feel your wishes, releasing the chains of the past. But with this energy, with the Nine of Cups, this feels very passionate. This feels very fiery. This feels very even sexual. But it just feels like passion for each other. It feels like love for each other, allowing the flame to be lit. And again, we had channeled that in the previous Sacred Union energy update. But it's very balanced out with this water energy of the cups, because it's like, it's this energy. It's this temperance energy. That's exactly what it is. You see how she has the water and the fire? It's not that the water is going to be putting out the fire. It's just tempering it. It's just where it can be hot, hot, hot. And your connection had been hot, hot, hot in the way that it had, in some ways, felt very intense, maybe even too intense. Tense as a whole, just tense as a whole, because you were going through clearing out any karmic or toxic energy within yourselves, playing that out within your connection. You guys were doing that with each other, because remember, your relationship is the greatest catalyst for growth. So with your sacred partner, you were clearing out old beliefs, templates, toxic energy that you held from old patterns, old relationships, old traumas. You were doing that with your partner. Your partner was triggering that within you to clear out. You were triggering that within your partner to clear out, to heal. That's what this relationship is. It's a very healing energy. But what happens is a lot of toxicity comes up between you guys, because you guys love each other so much, so deeply, that you trigger each other to clear out all the trauma. So it's not that you're trauma with each other. It's not that you're creating new karmic cycles with each other or new toxicity with each other, but you're clearing out your reactions, your triggers, your patterns possibly played out in order for you to transmute and clear the old. So when you were triggering each other, you were just triggering old traumas and old toxicity between you two to be cleared out. I've talked about that in previous teachings as well, so you can feel free to go back on the channel for that. Just wanted to reiterate that here. What's happening here is there's where it once felt hot, hot, hot. Now that's not to say that your connection isn't hot, hot, hot. You still feel that passion for each other, but it's much more settled. It's much more harmonious. It's much more balanced. It's much more love fueled rather than heat fueled, if that makes sense. It's much more just harmonious. It just feels much more compatible, much more even, much more tempered. Where this is what we talked about last time, where it once might have felt like it was up and down and in and out and hot and cold and all this imbalance. You've really settled into this place of harmony with each other. That's what this temperance energy is. That's what this energy feels like. Yes, you still have that fire and that love for each other, but it's much more balanced. It's much more harmonious. It's much more even, because you've released any of that toxic energy. You've released the chains, the bonds. And we talked about that as well. You released the attachment, the hold, the toxic energy. You released the journey as a whole, the container, the focus of the journey, and you're just allowing the love to flow. That's what this feels like. This just feels like a warm fire. A warm fire. That's what this feels like. The heat's still there, the love's still there, the passion's still there, but the risk of getting burned is not. With the Magician energy, this feels like divine masculine energy, this sense of empowerment, I should say, this sense of, I have all the tools now. You and your divine masculine both have all the tools now, that self-mastery, that self-empowerment, to temper this energy, to transmute this energy, where there is any toxic energy, where there is any debris of old patternings and attachment and trauma. You're doing this together from a much more balanced, even place. Judgment, you're ascending to the next level of your connection. You're being called to rise to the next level of your connection. Remember when I said that the divine masculine is has become the divine masculine is because they heard that call, they received that breakthrough, they received that clarity, and they answered that call. And what's happening is you're coming into physical union. Three of Cups is my union card because look at this. This is exactly, it's the other deck, the other Gilded Tarot deck, the original, that I originally got this message, number 3 years ago, I think it was, where it was the Trinity energy, the 2 cups pouring into the 1. That's where the Three of Cups became my union card. It's the 2 of Cups that we saw earlier in the spread. Now you have something to offer to each other, and you give that, you offer that to each other, and pours into the third, being that source energy. And what happens when water and water mix? It just becomes merged, completely merged. There's no separation at all. You cannot tell where one began and one ended. That's Trinity energy. That's union energy. It's you, your divine masculine, and source becoming one and blossoming into another Trinity energy, which is your relationship, which is your sacred union. So again, with the Justice card, balance, and you even have the yin yang here, balance, harmony, peace, justice coming to your connection. This just feels like union. So what's next? It feels like harmony, balance, union energy, a real higher level of your ascension journey, a higher level of commitment within yourselves and with your partner. This just feels like partnership. This feels like relationship. This feels like working together in conscious, healthy relationship. This feels really, really beautiful. All right, you guys, let me just see if there's anything else they want to say. Any last messages for these sacred unions, for these sacred partners, anything else? Anything else for these sacred partners? We have the High Priestess, we have the Empress, and we have the Queen of Swords. Holy cow, feminine energy rising. Beautiful balancing out. Your divine masculine is absolutely seeing you in your glory. They're seeing you as this mysterious, magical, beautiful, connected feminine energy. They're seeing you in the physical as this beautiful, sexy, just magnetic feminine energy, and they're seeing you as self-expressive. The Queen of Swords can sometimes feel very cold, but here it just feels warm and expressive, peaceful, loving, communicative. I feel like your divine masculine is wanting to match this. It's almost like I'm seeing the Hierophant to match the High Priestess, the Emperor to match the Empress, and the King of Swords to match the Queen of Swords. Your divine masculine is really seeing you in your divinity, in your feminine energy, and really wanting to match you and become the divine masculine to all of these beautiful attributes that you hold. Really, really beautiful. This is beautiful energy. All right, you guys, that is going to be it. Oh yeah, the Nine of Pentacles too. Holy cow, this is all feminine energy, and I feel like your divine masculine really is rising to be your match, to be your true equal. Really beautiful. All right, you guys, that is going to be it. Kind of short and sweet today. I'm hoping to be back later this week with another energy update. So stay tuned. I'm sending you so much love, so much light, and we'll see you next time.